Okay, this is the whole family together. Starting with an AU Toka, coming across to the AU Barra, the new Fairmont, and then coming across to the white AU. That sort of started it all. The white ones run a best of 12.8. Last night the Fairmont ran a best of 13.2, which is not a bad start because it's still full weight. And AU Barra to date has run a best of 12.65, so it's not too shabby. Okay, just a quick check of the engine bays on all of them. This is the white one. Nitrous set up in the corner up there with the regulator, cold air intake, and pulley are machined up at work just to give it a bit of an underdrive. And yeah, fairly basic setup. And we come across to the Fairmont. Even more basic, as it uses all of the factory stuff. There's the nitrous setup. The solenoids are just hiding in down the bottom there. Just got an old set of extractors I picked up at a swap meet. Nice and rusty. And the wiring, which is a bit of a plumber's nightmare, but it's only for the time being and it works. And then we come across to the Barra conversion on the AU. It's the fastest one of the lot. To date, haven't really tried the Wizard of Noz nitrous system yet. The 12.65 was done on the normal. And this one launches the hardest. And this is what it sounds like when you have 3 of them idling at the same time. Doesn't sound too bad. Okay, that's the nitrous controller I got from the States, from a motorbike website of all places. It's used and I managed to get it for $100 when the Aussie dollar was actually worth something. It's a bit of a spaghetti western with all the wiring, but it is just temporary anyway, until I get the 12-second run. Probably the most important tuning tool, which I'm not including in the cost, is the AFR gauge, because that allows me to dial in what I do with the nitrous jets. I'll know whether I'm starting to run lean or too rich, so that I can add or subtract fuel or nitrous as is needed, because it's very difficult to know what it's actually doing at the time, so that helps a lot. This is how it ran last night, with a full interior, and what I did is I changed all of the tyres to 14-inch, which you do need spaces for in order to clear the brakes. But because they're 215/60/14 on the back, they're a drag radial, so they do give a fair bit more grip. And because they're a small tyre, they actually end up changing the diff ratio as well. So the 345 plus that is probably more like a 3.7, but you're still just using the factory stuff. Plus the rims weigh probably about 8 to 9 kilos less than either Steely's or the aluminium Ford factory 16s. Same on the front, I'm just running 185/75/14s there. As I said, it's difficult to get them to clear the brakes, not impossible though. There are some aftermarket ones which are much bigger on the inside dish, in the 14.7 and the alloys, and they are much lighter as well. So if you can find a set of those, they'll just fit straight on. One thing I forgot to mention is I had to plumb in a cheap aftermarket fuel regulator. With the E85, there was just not enough base pressure to take off from idle, and I've got it running just over 4 bar normally, which actually then supplies enough fuel to the standard injectors. So that's a definite essential.